Welcome at the Things conference again. With me, another great guest to do a great interview, obviously. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Max de Groot from Wisekey. I'm an IoT product marketing manager, and that's about it.
Okay. So what is Wisekey?
Wisekey, we're active in the delivering of secure certificates, digital identities for service, for contracts, for people, and we have it for devices as well.
Okay.
In order to do it for devices, we have secure elements, tamper-resistant chips that can be put in the secure element, and we have on the other side a system that will manage the certificates which are in the device.
All right. Well, security is obviously a hot topic these days.
Yes. Yes.
What makes your solution unique?
What makes our solution unique? It's the fact that we have an overall system from the bottom to the top. The bottom means it's the secure chip which is in the device. It's a type of tamper-resistant vault. I come back on that later. It's a type of resistant vault, and on the other side we have the backend system which can manage the devices through the secure element, through the digital certificate that's inside. And we have this solution, this complete solution, which we can sell as being a managed PKI solution, or we can install it with customers.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
So if you talk about customers or applications of your solutions, do you have some examples where we can see it in where it's used?
There are a lot of customers that in the field of industrial automation that use our solution in order to protect their devices and to be able to control the life cycle of the devices. If you can imagine that big devices, they're built out of diverse components, and these components, they go through different contract manufacturers. And in order to prevent that these contract manufacturers will lose a pallet of devices and sell it on the gray market, they put our chips inside, for instance, to be able to control exactly which stage the production is in, and to control that in the most secure way.
Obviously, so there's asset tracking.
Asset tracking is one of the things, asset tracking. Then, of course, it's all about the data that comes out of the devices. It's nice to have a device that sends a lot of data and to do artificial intelligence on this data, and the world is beautiful, we get richer, etc. But if we cannot be sure that the data is sent by authentic device, we cannot be sure that the data has any value. So we can make wrong decisions, or let's say good decisions on wrong data, which makes it wrong decisions. So we need to be sure that the data comes from real devices. So that's why we need this digital identity in the device. So that's a lot of applications as well that will use that. So we protect the device, and through the device we protect the data that's sent. So the decisions that are made upon it are at least of high value.
Okay. A lot of people talk at this conference because we're at our conference about geolocation. Is that something that you are working on as well?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, there are applications that would use our chip in order to protect the data that is sent, the geolocation data. And it's not only that you could say that geolocation is not so important. Why should I protect it? But if you talk about drones, for instance, drones that fly over non-flight zones, if you can tamper with the geolocation data, you can show that the drone is not flying over it while it really is. So you need to protect that data as well. So there are some companies that use these chips in drones, for instance, to protect that.
We are at an IoT conference. Are there because you do probably a lot more than IoT, so what is the specific solutions that you have for IoT? Is this basically this, or are there other things that are specifically designed for IoT?
No, what we do specifically for IoT is the digital certificate for the devices and the backend system that will... Basically what we do is it's a backend system that's... I can imagine people who build devices for the applications, they don't know anything about security, or not so much. So what we do is we give them a chip, they will build it in the device, and we give them access to a management system that does everything from device authentication to encryption of the data, etc. And they will get clean data, protected data, valuable data out of this system without having to cope themselves with the development. So that's what we do in IoT.
You make the life for a lot of people much easier.
Yeah, and secure.
And secure. Yeah. Oh, that's very good. If you look at the industry of IoT, could you share your vision or your ideas on where we are now and what is the next big obstacle or challenge that we should fix?
Good question, good question. I think really the obstacle we should fix is the security.
But that's because you sell security solutions.
I mean, if it would be fixed, that would be good for me. But I think the most important thing that will happen in IoT is the absence of security. A lot of people, they develop things just to have it on the market. Time to market should be very short. It should be very cheap. It's very nice to have these applications, but then certainly they will get hacked. And you see it on the newspapers. You will see attacks mostly every day. Recent attacks on the Intel chips, meltdown inspector, and it will be everyday news. And so that will be a big flaw for Internet of Things. I mean, if the Internet of Things, people cannot have confidence anymore in it. It will just drop or explode like a balloon. It's not there. So really, security is a thing, but the people are not aware of it. People get attacked, but it's the neighborhoods get attacked. It's not me, it's the neighbor.
So if you look at that, I mean, obviously you have a solution for that, but the whole industry is not aware enough of the cyber. So how can we solve this?
How can we solve this? There are a lot of webinars, a lot of conferences about the security of the Internet of Things. We are part of that, of course. It's just a question of evangelization. You need to talk about it. You need to show people that things can go wrong. We have a demo over there at the table that we can show that we can steal a private key out of a chip, which is supposed to protect this key. You should not be able to read it, and we can read it in less than 2 minutes. So just to show that what you thought was secure is not secure at all. And okay, I do this as a demo, but somebody will do it, and then we'll use to hack it, and we'll use to have ransomware or do a denial of service attack to something, etc. And that's, for me, that's really a big issue. Even if I was not selling security. For instance, as a person, I don't have any video surveillance cameras at home because I simply do not. I don't trust that the data sent from these video cameras will only go to me. I don't know if you know this website where you have about 70,000 images of video streams from all over the world, and you can see private people at their home, just don't knowing that, and they're knitting and they're sitting on the couch looking at television, for instance, and it's filmed and everybody can see it, just because they don't know it's.
And that's only a fraction, which you can see there.
That's only a fraction, 70,000 video.
That's nothing
compared to 50 billion devices that should be connected. So for me, security is the big hurdle.
Now, I talked to Geoff, the chairman of the alliance. Is there a role for the alliance because they do certification? They have they initiate specifications. Is there a role for them in this?
Yeah, I think so because they have they increase the security level between the first 1.0.2 and the 1.1 spec. So they think about security, and they still have in their specs some line written that if you want to have additional security, you should go look somewhere else and add something to the security of LoRa. So that means they are aware that LoRa does not have enough security for some projects, and I think that's also due to the limited bandwidth and the power consumption you can have on a LoRa device. So I think they should be able to because they really have a lot of people looking at them. So they would be a factor to give the right word into the industry that take care for solutions with your security, take care of what level of security you need. Don't just use LoRa and think it's okay. You might need to add something, and that's something which they could put to words and have perhaps a group working on that exactly to know what we could do with it.
Okay, well, let's hope for a more secure LoRa. So thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you for watching. This was another interview from the Things conference. There's many more on the YouTube channel, so watch them all.